Hey everyone, Mr. Happy here, and in this video I want to do some talking about this update coming to the mentor system. You guys know I'm not really a huge fan of the mentor system in Final Fantasy XIV, and there's some things that they're doing that make sense and that I kind of like, and then there's like one thing in particular they're doing that doesn't make any sense to me. So for those of you who may have missed it in the previous live letters, they did let us know about this in advance, and they gave us at least the majority of the details that are present here. In 5.1, people have to recertify, and there's going to be some adjustments to the actual conditions for unlocking the mentor crown itself. For anyone who has a mentor crown but maybe doesn't meet the new conditions, you'll have until 5.2 in order to actually meet those and renew. Otherwise, you'll have to go through the process of earning your crown again. Now, for the first thing, the difference between types of mentors. Now, the features available to battle and trade mentors were largely the same. They're now separating them. If you've gotten the mentor certification via Disciple of War or Magic, which we'll go over the updated things you need to do for that down below, you can now set your online status to Battle Mentor or PvP Mentor. Now, first of all, cool that you can separate them, but PvP Mentor, as far as I see, there's no PvP requirement at all to obtain PvP Mentor as a title. And that's a major blemish in my opinion. Like, I get that you want to separate them, but you can't just say you're a PvP. Granted, even after leveling a bunch of jobs and doing a bunch of instances, at times you can't even call yourself a Battle Mentor. But yeah, this is the one major blemish. I don't understand why PvP Mentor is an option when I've looked through this beforehand recording. I didn't see any PvP requirements whatsoever. So hopefully they incorporate some just to make it make sense, because it otherwise really doesn't. And those who achieve their certification via Disciple of Hand or Land qualifications can change their online status to Trade Mentor. Now, most specifically, the Trade Mentor no longer grants access to Duty Roulette Mentor. So if that was the avenue that you went through to get it, you will not have access to any combat-related benefits such as the Duty Roulette Mentor. An okay change. It makes sense from a mentor standpoint, just because they craft a lot, they gather a lot. Doesn't lead to any sort of belief that they are going to be able to teach people how to go through a dungeon, for an example. So that's okay. It doesn't really much change what's going to be, you know, what people are going to affiliate the mentor system with, but at least it's something. Right now, it's only the mentor status, according to this. Oh, no, I actually never bothered with the mentor status because I'm just not a fan of the way that it's done in Final Fantasy XIV. Now, the previous, or I should say the current one before patch 5.1, in order to obtain it, is 1,000 Dungeon Raids Trials, level 80 tank healer melee DPS roll, and 300 player commendations. Now, what's going to be happening after the fact is going to be that you'll need 1,500 player commendations in order to qualify for the Battle Mentor status. I'm a big fan of that in particular, because one of my biggest problems with the mentor system in 14 is that it does not promote the player to have anything more than just doing a ton of dungeons, just, you know, trying to, you know, milk things like I'm playing the healer so I get auto commendations. And if you're just doing that, it probably doesn't play too well into trying to unlock Battle Mentor altogether. I will say that it definitely helps, so this may, even for people trying to unlock it, get them to play tank or healer just to try and get the auto commendations with low effort in the future. But at least that's some sort of block for people. They can't just spam like Ifrit normal 1,000 times or something, or some sort of like low-level instance 1,000 times just to get into the mentor, system, and, you know, pick up a few hundred commendations along the way, which realistically isn't too tough. Trade mentors, they're not changing anything. I think it's kind of hard to change that stuff. Trade and the trading mentor section is kind of hard to, you know, change in any way. You know, most people just relay the same information that was Googled, and that's reliable information, and passing it along as a mentor for it is probably not too bad of a thing. Now, you also have to renew your mentor certification, which I mentioned earlier, and you'll be able to do that from patch 5.1 to December 2019. So originally, they said you'd have to do it before 5.2. Still accurate. We don't expect 5.2 until, you know, like February-ish of 2020. So, but now we know the exact window is going to be 5.1, which we're suspecting will be October 22nd or 29th, up until December. If you don't do this, then you're going to lose your little crown. You'll have to go speak to one of the smiths in Gridania, Limsa, Lominsa, Ul'dah, Western Lenosha. Those are the ones that you go to for the Hall of the Novice. Now you have to select apply for mentor certification, and mentors who do not renew will be unable to access the mentor titles, the crown, or the duty roulette mentor. They can still participate in Novice Network chat channel, but that's all it is. Honestly, like I said, there's a couple of things that are nice to see in here. Them trying to separate the types of mentors, adding the commendation requirement, but I'm just not a big fan of it overall. There's just very little that tries to ensure that somebody doesn't just want the symbol over their head, and that they actually want to be somebody who is trying to be a benefit to the community. And honestly, we see a lot of the people who, make guides, whether they be written or video. So many members of the community who do want to help don't even bother with the mentor crown as it is, because they're just performing the duties that they are doing, and they don't need any sort of notoriety for it. I always wonder if maybe just getting rid of the crown would be something that maybe would improve the quality of mentor, but honestly, I don't know that it really would. It's hard to predict how people will really react to something like that, but crown is staying. You're just gonna have to try a little bit harder in order to earn it or to renew it. But that's gonna be a wrap for this little news video for Final Fantasy XIV. Apologies for the lack of videos on the channel as of late. Went through a little bit of a mental struggle, a little bit of depression, and just, lack of confidence, but I'm getting back into it. And even these most basic videos, it feels good to be producing again for the YouTube channel. But thank you for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share. Now I have a Twitch stream to get back to because I decided to do this right at 7 in the morning. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, take care.